In this presentation, we will review a few basic principles of Jyotish and some practical points regarding a Maharishi Jyotish consultation. Jyotish is Vedic astrology. It is the science and technology of prediction and transformation. It is based on the cognition of natural law from the Vedic seers. Maharishi restored this precious Vedic discipline in its purity and effectiveness by reconnecting it to the field of consciousness, the field of Atma within everyone, that is the home of all the laws of nature, which upholds all streams of time and space throughout creation. Maharishi has said, Jyotish is on that level from where all life begins. The diversity starts from that singularity, from that unity of self-referral consciousness, completely unified in its own value. So having its existence on a level which is the basic intelligence of nature, Jyotish is able to command all levels of evolution in any direction one would go. With this knowledge, we have the power to completely eliminate suffering. As soon as we can whisper this to all our people, so soon we'll have the very solid foundation for heaven on earth. Maharishi Jyotish consultations give us the essential knowledge of future trends in life, so that we may properly plan for greatest success and security in health, wealth, and happiness on our path towards enlightenment. During a consultation, the Maharishi Jyotish Pandit will give the predictions and insights into the present and future events indicated by a careful analysis of your birth chart. How is prediction possible? Prediction is possible because nature is unified at its basis and sequential and orderly in its expression. The infinite diversity of creation has its common source in the unified field of natural law, which governs everything in perfect harmony on the path of evolution. In fact, the basic mechanics of nature's creativity and intelligence is so orderly that each step of change can be predicted by precise calculations. It is said that all knowledge is contained in the starting point, just as a tiny seed contains everything needed for it to grow into a tree and to bear flowers and fruit. In this same way, Maharishi Jyotish can give knowledge of the future of any person or entity just by knowing one point in its history, the time and place of its birth. From this time and place, from this information, the whole span and sequence of life can be calculated. Here we see a birth chart. It is like a snapshot of the laws of nature lively at the moment we enter into the field of activity. The birth chart contains valuable and comprehensive insights into the events yet to come in our life. The planets and stars in our birth chart represent the subtle forces of nature which act upon us and shape our destiny, determining what and when different circumstances may arise on our path. The science and technology of Maharishi Jyotish is capable of predicting future trends because the ancient seers who first cognized the Ved were able to simplify the innumerable influences which may affect an individual down to a few essential elements. The Maharishi Jyotish Pandit will refer to three basic constituents of Jyotish in analyzing your birth chart. We mention the traditional terminology of Jyotish just so you are familiar with the vocabulary of nature used in your consultation. These constituents are 1. The 12 houses of your horoscope called bhavas in Jyotish. These are common to everyone and indicate different aspects of life, such as finance, marriage, work, health, parents, children, and so forth. Here we see the structure of the birth chart and some of the attributes of the different houses. 2. Signs of the zodiac. These constellations are called rashis. Depending on the time and place of your birth, each astrological sign will be assigned to one of the houses in your horoscope. Each sign has a detailed set of qualities that it brings to that area of your life. In this example, we see the signs of the zodiac placed in the bhavas or houses. 3. The planets, called grahas. In Vedic science, we must understand that the planets and constellations are more than just entities hanging in space. They represent powerful aspects of natural law, which administer all of creation. The grahas are the sun, Surya, associated with the self; the moon, Chandra, associated with the mind and emotions; Mars, Mongol, associated with dynamism and organizing power; Mercury, Bud, associated with the intellect and discrimination; Jupiter, Guru, associated with knowledge, expansion, and teaching; Venus, Shukra, associated with beauty and refinement; Saturn, Shani, associated with grief and stability. There are also two grahas which are not planets, but are the intersection of the paths of the sun and moon. These are called Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is associated with roughness and unpredictability, and is like Shani in its quality. Ketu is secretive and philosophical, and is like Mongol. Again, depending on your birth time and place, the grahas become fixed into the bhavas. Their specific qualities then interact with each other and with the rashi in that bhava. Here we see an example of the grahas in different houses of the birth chart. The Maharishi Jyotish Pandit analyzes the positions of the planets and stars in your birth chart and the subtle interactions they have with each other, as well as the changing influence that comes from the ongoing movement of the planets over time. It is important to remember that all the constituents of Jyotish are just a vocabulary by which the Maharishi Jyotish Pandit can quantify the functioning of natural law at some specific time and place, either for good fortune or to identify some challenges we may face. How do these trends, either good or bad, manifest in our life? We may wonder, how is it that sometimes we have good luck and at other times we seem to face some problems? Is there any principle underlying the trends in our fortunes that can be predicted by Maharishi Jyotish? Maharishi Vedic science explains that every action has a reaction, experienced either right away or at some future time. Whatever our fortune, it is simply a reflection of our past thinking and behavior. We all know the expression, "As you sow, so shall you reap." Maharishi says, this is the tradition of knowledge of the whole human race in any part of the world. Everyone knows that you get delivered what you order. Whatever you have ordered, that is awaiting you in proper time. So whatever we do today, that perfect order in creation, which is in itself innocently evolutionary, that knows what we know. What we have ordered for tomorrow, we get that thing. The science of Maharishi Jyotish is able to mathematically calculate the influence that has been created by our past actions, and which will return to us at a particular time and place. During your Maharishi Jyotish consultation, the timing of future trends and tendencies will be identified. This will help us make best progress in life. As part of the consultation, the Maharishi Jyotish Pandit will recommend Maharishi Yagyas based on your birth chart that can actually transform the influence of our past karma for greatest success, material comfort, and achievements, as well as the acceleration of our personal spiritual development. There is one important aspect of prediction used by the Maharishi Jyotish Pandits during your consultation. This is the special knowledge of how time is structured in fixed cycles. In Vedic terminology, this is called the Dasha system. The Dasha system shows that time not only has a quantity or duration, it also has a specific quality. We are all familiar with time in terms of hours, days, months, and years. But the science of Jyotish also takes into account the influence of the planets upon the cycles of time. This is a key feature of making a prediction. Here we see that the major cycles of dashas, known as mahadashas, have varying lengths, from 6 to 20 years. But the progression is always the same, even though we may begin at different points in the sequence according to when and where we are born. You will see that the total of all the mahadashas is 120 years, which is the basic Vedic span of human life. In your consultation, the Maharishi Jyotish Pandit will identify how these cycles of time enliven different aspects of your birth chart and activate different possible outcomes at different periods in the development of your life. The Pandit can then describe the kinds of experiences you may have in the current period you are in and in those that may come in the future. It is possible for the Maharishi Jyotish Pandit to go into very fine detail because each dasha period has several layers of sub-periods that have a similar structure to the principal mahadasha. A mahadasha may extend from 6 years up to 20. This illustration shows a mahadasha containing 9 sub-periods that are called antardashas. These periods may last for perhaps a few years. You will see that the sub-periods are in the exact same sequence, but their duration is now proportionately smaller because they must fit within the mahadasha period. Within each antardasha sub-period is yet another sub-period called a pradyantardasha. A pradyantardasha may extend from days to about 6 months. As we mentioned, each dasha period indicates the enlivenment of the influence of a particular planet or graha. As the analysis takes into consideration finer levels of time, greater and more specific insights can be gained. In your consultation, the Maharishi Jyotish Pandit will first describe the general nature of the mahadasha you are in, and then he will describe the antardasha. He will give both the starting and ending times for each period, and will give you an overall impression of the planetary influences you'll have during this time. Then, in some consultations, the Maharishi Jyotish Pandit will also describe the third level periods with their starting and ending dates. He will comment on favorable or unfavorable trends in each one, opportunities you may have, or things you may want to be careful of. If you have indicated an area of concern or questions that you have for your consultation, the Pandit will often focus on these in making his prediction. You are encouraged to take notes during your consultation, but audio recordings are not permitted. Please remember to bring paper and pen to the consultation. If there's something in the consultation you cannot hear, please ask for it to be repeated. Or if the connection is by video conference, please ask for the connection to be improved. If there's an important point you do not understand, please ask the Pandit to clarify it for you. However, please note that time does not allow for you to ask additional questions which were not included in your original application. After the consultation, you will have a brief meeting with the consultation coordinator. As part of the consultation, you will also receive a recommendation for Graha Shanti, planetary Maharishi Yagyas, based on the study of your birth chart. Maharishi has given us the powerful Vedic technology of Maharishi Yagya performances to dissolve any negativity that may be coming to us and to enhance our good fortune and progress in life. As Maharishi has said, the Jyotish and Yagya programs are for the development of enlightenment, life free from dependence on surroundings and circumstances, and mastery over one's own destiny. It is possible to live life free from suffering and problems through the preventive influence of Maharishi Yagya performances. Maharishi Yagya is a means to accomplish perfection in life. So with this, we give all best wishes from the Maharishi Jyotish program for you to enjoy greatest success in your life, a brighter future beginning today. Jai Gurudev.